In this video, I explain what kind of scholarships are available for international students in Finland, who can apply for them, when and how the application happens, and what do these scholarships cover. What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. If this is the first time we are meeting, my name is Oliver and I'm a master's student in economics at Aalto University in Finland. And on this channel, we talk about education and early career development, specifically here in Finland. So if you are new here, do consider subscribing. All right, so first things first. Yes, there are scholarships for international students applying to study in Finland. This applies to all English-taught bachelor's and master's level degree programs that have annual tuition fees. This means that there are no scholarships for degree programs taught in Finnish or Swedish. Also, if you are a doctoral student, do note that there is a completely separate funding system for your research, and I will do a separate video about this topic a bit later, so do make sure to subscribe to the channel for future updates. Also, important to know that in Finland, scholarships are provided by individual universities who grant them directly to a selected number of applicants. Each school has its own scholarship system, and there is no universal scholarship program that would cover all Finnish institutions of higher education. Alright, so who can apply for these university-provided scholarships? This is actually pretty simple because only those applicants who are liable to pay tuition fees in Finland are eligible to apply for scholarships from the universities. This means that university scholarships are only for non-European Union and non-European Economic Area citizens. In addition, Swiss nationals cannot apply for university scholarships because you guys are not liable to pay tuition fees in Finland. However, if you are a European Union or European Economic Area citizen, do not click away from this video because at the end of this video I talk about scholarship options that also you can apply for. If you want to jump directly to that part, it should be marked in the timeline of the video as additional scholarship options. If you cannot see the chapters of this video with your device, I have timestamps for each section in the description box below. So the next question is when and how do you apply for these scholarships? So those liable to pay tuition fees can apply for university tuition fee waivers with the same application form that you use to apply for the university degree itself. This is done by ticking the relevant sections in the application form at the time of application, and it is only done once. So it's important to note that it is not possible to apply for a university tuition fee waiver after the application period has ended, and there are no reserve lists for the allocation of these type of scholarships. So do not forget this when applying for the program. In addition to the tuition fee waivers, some universities also offer incentive-based grants or scholarships. So do note that each university has a different name for this type of scholarship, but they usually function in the same manner. So incentive-based scholarships are granted to students who are liable to pay tuition and who have progressed with their studies at a good pace. So this pace is measured in the amount of ECTS credits per academic year. The exact amount of credits required and the extent of the scholarship depends on the university, but as an example, Aalto University's incentive-based scholarship requires you to complete at least 60 or more credits per academic year. So the next logical question is, financially, how large are these scholarships? So this depends not only on the university, but also on the degree program in question. As a benchmark, Aalto University has two types of tuition fee waivers. One that covers 50% of your tuition and one that covers 100% of your tuition fee for the entirety of your studies. As an additional benchmark, Aalto University's incentive-based scholarship that I just talked about is worth 1,500 euros, and it can be applied for and granted more than once. Basically once per academic year. Next up, what do these scholarships cover? So the majority of scholarships provided by Finnish universities and universities of applied sciences only cover the cost of your annual tuition fee. This means that most university scholarships do not cover living costs or other personal or study-related costs. However, as an exception to the rule, some Finnish universities do have a small number of individual degree programs that offer their own scholarships that also cover living expenses, either in full or in part. So do note that there are only a very few number of these programs, and they might not exist in the field that you are looking to pursue. Also, since incentive-based scholarships are basically reimbursements for the already paid tuition fees, you are basically free to use them however you wish. Anyways, as mentioned, each school has their own scholarship programs that are different in value, and they have their own rules and application processes. So in order to get more information about these programs and their scholarships, I have prepared a comprehensive list of Finnish universities and their different scholarship programs that you can access for free and without any logins through the spreadsheet that I have linked in the description box below. Next up, let's quickly discuss different reasons why your scholarship might be discontinued. So in short, the most common reason for a scholarship being cancelled is that one's studies do not follow the pre-approved personal study plan, or if a student hasn't completed enough credits per academic year. So the minimum number of credits might vary between schools, but a good benchmark is 45 ECTS per academic year. So do note that a normative pace in a Finnish university is 60 credits per academic year, so doing less than 45 means that you are progressing really slowly. So moving on, let's talk a bit about scholarships and taxation. So universities in Finland are obliged by law to report all granted scholarships to the Finnish tax authorities. As of 2020, scholarships in Finland are generally tax-free up to the value of 23,269 euros and 80 cents per calendar year. Just as a heads up, if your combined scholarships and grants exceed the aforementioned sum within one calendar year, you may be contacted by the Finnish tax authority. Alright, so finally, in addition to scholarships provided by the universities themselves, there are some other scholarship and grant options that you should keep an eye out for. As a super important note, you can apply for the following scholarships, no matter whether you're liable to pay tuition in Finland or not. The first option is to figure out whether or not your university student union offers any scholarships for their members. Some, like the Aalto University Student Union, AYY, do give out some annual grants to their active members. However, do keep in mind that these scholarships are usually granted for students who have both achieved good academic success as well as being active in participating in the local student community. Also, depending on the student union, these scholarships are usually some hundreds of euros, and they can be granted to a single person only once. The second option is to apply for scholarships through scholarshipportal.com, which is an international portal for grants and scholarships for college and university students. These scholarships are provided mostly by private institutions and foundations, and while I would keep an eye out for this website, do note that they very rarely offer scholarships that are specifically for students coming to Finland. This means that applying for an international scholarship can be extremely competitive, and I would really consider if it's worth your time to apply. For example, for a $1,000 scholarship, considering that most likely only a few are available and they might have thousands of applicants. Why I say this is that perhaps you'd be better off applying for work and earning the same amount of money before or after moving to Finland. The third and the final option is to keep in mind that some countries do offer their citizens scholarships to study abroad, and you should definitely find out whether or not this is the case with your government. As an example, Russian citizens who apply to study a master's level degree at one of the top 150 universities in the world may be eligible to apply for funding from the Global Education Program, which is funded by the Russian government. If you don't know where to start looking for national scholarships, my personal tip is to contact your country's Ministry of Education and ask for any tips from them. Alright, so that is it for this video. If you found this video helpful, do give it a thumbs up and maybe share it with a friend who might also be interested in studying in Finland. Also, if you are interested in hearing more about studying and building your early career in Finland, make sure to subscribe to the channel for future videos. And if you have any questions about these topics, make sure to write them down in the comment section down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.